March Madness, but it's Living Force night. We're going to have a really silly, fun show tonight. It's been a little bit of a wild time, so we're just going to have a fun little game night together. But we got a lot to talk about, of course, in the Star Wars world. So go ahead, sit back, relax. But if you're Wes, stand up, tense up, and punch it! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Living Force, a UT Network podcast all about the silliness of Star Wars. I'm one of your hosts, Eric Eilerson, and joining me tonight for a few superlatives, you'll see what that's all about in a bit, is a full cadre of hosts, starting off with the man who I saw yet again this week, if only so briefly, Dr. Charles Hankel. Hey, buddy.
What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight?
Doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm not as destroyed as I was last week. How are you?
Not as destroyed as last week. Same.
Yeah.
Same. And that's a win nowadays, you know?
That is absolutely a win. And I want to say thank you virtually, as opposed to in person, because, guys, Charles gave me the first copy, or the first, what is it? The first book in the Mistborn trilogy.
Oh.
So this week. So I'll be reading that eventually. We also, of course, have the man, the myth, the legend, the softball connoisseur, the man back at the plate and back in our hearts, Wes Jenkins. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up? Embarrassing. Embarrassing is the one word thing that I could say about softball this past week. So I've already set up the tee in the garage. I'm going to put the net up, and I will be hitting into that for the next 3 to 4 days because I have a tournament this weekend. But if you can see, I'm getting a little bit of color. I'm getting a little bit of color now.
Yeah.
I just need to not take my sunglasses out there so I can get rid of these white eyes of mine. But yeah, it's softball season. It's getting hot. It almost got to 90 in early March. Man. So I can't wait for June and July when it gets to like 105. And the whole reason I had to buy a 1-gallon jug of water because I will smash that in like 2.5 hours. It'll be empty. It's crazy.
Oh, my God. Well, luckily for you, Wes, we have now a guest on the show who is at the complete opposite end of the temperature spectrum over in the frigid lands of Stephen King. It's Emma Park. What is up?
Hey everybody, it's good to be back. It is like the Hurt Locker here up in Maine. It never ends. It never ends. We got 14 inches of snow, and that is too much snow. But,
no!
I mean, listen though, like I have had a record number of snow days in college, which is great because college is the last time you get to experience the fun of not having to do any responsibilities on a snow day. And so, you know, that might have been my last one ever. You know, we'll see. But
oh my gosh,
it's good. It's a little heartbreaking. But yeah, we'll make it through. I'm done with the snow now. I don't even. I don't need snow days anymore. I just want it to stop.
All right. Well, stay tuned, everyone, for when Emma joins the rest of us in the South. But for the rest of you, hello, welcome in. If you're snowing or not, we're happy you're here. Whether you're watching us on YouTube, listening to us in your podcatcher, make sure you're liking, subscribing, leaving reviews, and telling everyone why they should be listening to the Living Force. Because you know what? Makes life better. That's it. Very simply. And of course, make sure you are subscribed to the Utini YouTube channel because we got a ton of stuff coming out. But if you're subscribed to the Utini Twitter feed, then you've been seeing a lot of cool stuff because, y'all, our Book Madness bracket is live. We mentioned it last week, and in honor of March Madness, we have been going through a 64-book bracket on Twitter, YouTube community, and the community tab here, in Discord, and in the Instagram stories of Utini. And y'all, it's been wild. And can we just start off by giving our flowers to our social team, who has been killing it
For sure.
with all of this? My God.
Love it.
Like, it's so good. There's been multiple matchups per day. If you didn't guess last week, twice a day, we get a head-to-head matchup of 2 books. And I wanted to go through the winners that we have as of recording so far because we have graphics. You know what I love? Pictures.
Pictures.
So
Especially pretty pictures.
pretty pictures. So Wes, throw the first pretty picture and show us who won a couple of our matchups this week so far.
I have this listed as matchup number 1.
Okay,
it was,
yes,
it was
excellent.
close.
I put them in order. Yeah. So our first matchup here was the number 1 seed Lost Stars and the number 64 seed Death Troopers. Death Troopers put up a hell of a fight.
They
They
got
really did.
votes. That's awesome.
Yes. 508 to 105. Lost Stars did move on.
If those troopers weren't dead before, they are now.
They are double dead now. But not everything was. I think that was our biggest blowout so far. What was our?
Probably.
Yeah. What was our next one we had? Here. Emma, take this one. Tell folks what our second matchup of the week was.
Yeah, so our next matchup was Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston and Lords of the Sith by, is it Paul Kemp?
Paul Kemp,
Yes!
I think, yeah.
Paul Kemp, yeah.
Paul
And
F. Camp.
Ahsoka won this one by a bit of a narrower margin here, 359 to 224. It's so fascinating that, by the way, that we're tallying scores from like Twitter and YouTube, like all of the platforms, because I totally forgot that, because I'm pretty sure, you know, in one of the matchups, one of the losers won on Twitter, but then won like the whole thing, you know? So
Yep.
I gotta remember to like check the graphic, you know?
Absolutely, yes. If you're voting, everyone, there is no voter fraud here because we are encouraging you to vote multiple times. Every time you vote on YouTube, Discord, Twitter, or an Instagram story, that all counts. So you can vote 4 times per book, which is what I've been doing. And I'll be honest, I voted for Lords of the Sith on this one. This is a tough one for me. I think they were seated right
was a
next to
tough
each
one.
other. I think they both had a lot of potential, but didn't quite stick the landing for me. But solid. Ahsoka moving on.
Yep.
What's next, Wes?
Ahsoka won. I haven't read Lords of the Sith, so Ahsoka should have won.
There you go.
Moving on.
Why are we voting at all? Okay. This one was controversial.
Very.
Wes, take this one.
Okay, so Convergence, High Republic book, won over a series of books, which is the
Yes.
Republic Commando series. So there's a couple of those. There's a couple of trilogies, a couple of series that are going against a single book. So it could be recency bias. That could be a thing. But it was pretty close. I mean, it was more than half that voted for Republic Commando series. So you got a lot of diehards there that were Legends fans for sure.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of questions about that too from some folks of like, why did the people that made the bracket decide to put some trilogies together? And the best explanation we have, I think we touched on it a bit last week, but there are some books that are like the mid book of a trilogy going up against like a juggernaut single novel isn't necessarily fair, right?
Yeah.
So there are some times when, okay, the Republic Commando as a whole is going to do better against Convergence. Even though they did lose, it would have done better against Convergence than if you just did like the book Order 66 or something, you know? So a lot of these, that is why we combine them in this way. And,
It's like how in March Madness, the 1 seed has to face 3 teams at the same time, and it's 15 on 5 on the court.
See, you know more basketball than I do, Charles, so yeah, that sounds
I
right.
eagerly anticipate that matchup every single year.
Oh my God. And listen, if you guys still don't like it, just remember one really important thing. This was other people on our team. Who are smarter than us. But we got a couple more. What's next, Wes? Charles, take this next one.
All right, the next one was the Legends Thrawn trilogy versus the High Republic Path of Deceit. And I don't know, it's kind of fitting that Thrawn pretty much decimated Path of Deceit. Remember, this is Legends Thrawn. This is not canon Thrawn. But it still won pretty handily, 420 to 227. So the Grand Admiral moves on.
Yeah, and this is great, and I love that we had both these in the first week because the exact opposite thing happened. It's a trilogy against a High Republic book and a trilogy against a High Republic book. So it really just depends. And Path of Deceit had a lot of votes, especially at the start. It has a very high social presence. A lot of folks love Path of Deceit. we had our qualms with it, but it's still a very solid book. But Legends Thrawn is really going to make some waves here.
I haven't checked the bracket in detail, but is it possible for Legends Thrawn trilogy to match up against canon Thrawn trilogy?
Ooh, I mean,
that'd be fun.
maybe.
I don't think so.
It's not okay.
Actually, I filled out like the whole paper bracket myself. I'll have to try to remember to post it on Discord when we're done.
Yeah.
Because I love filling out brackets, but I know nothing about college basketball. So
That's the best way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, perfect. You know, just find
Gonzaga's cool. I don't know.
Yeah. I go based on like mascots, based on like, you know, cities they're in. But anyways, I don't remember them ever like crossing paths.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, we have the Ascendancy trilogy, the Canon trilogy, and the Legends trilogy are all floating around. So maybe we'll have some Thrawn v. Thrawn Dawn of Justice action. What are the other couple ones we had, Wes? Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
I loved this one. This was a great one, I think, for round one. The Leia off, if you will.
Yeah.
Leia, Princess of Alderaan, pretty handily smoked the courtship of Princess Leia. Both very good books, but of course, Claudia Grey Supremacy reigns. 497 to 131.
This picture is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great graphic.
I mean, I love all the folks that listen to us on audio. I hope you're having a great day. If you haven't, check out just the Twitter, our Twitter, UTN_US. Check out some of these graphics that our team is putting out because really they're so fun and dynamic, and they just make me so happy. And Oz and Parker, stop bullying me in the chat.
All right, last matchup we have on here, matchup number 6.
Charles,
Okay, can I take this one?
No, Emma do. And then Charles had a comment though.
Yes, I will let Charles speak in a moment. So we have Brotherhood by Mike Chen versus Rebel Rising by Beth Rivas. And Brotherhood pretty handily defeated Rebel Rising 413 to 289. And I have some strong feelings about this, folks. I mean, Rebel Rising is such an underrated book. When I was filling out the paper bracket, I legitimately had to pause when it was matched up with Lost Freaking Stars. So, I mean, come on, people. I don't know.
Yep. I also voted for Rebel Rising. I am saddened by it, but I have nothing to add to Emma's. Charles, your counter as victor.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan had the high ground, and Rebel Rising is a great book. I actually agree that it's underrated, but I really thought Mike Chen blew that book out of the water. The Easter eggs were, I mean, like next level on that book. He did something I never thought anyone would make me do, which is care about a Neimoidian, multiple Neimoidians.
Yep.
And I loved it. So I'm happy.
Fair points. They're both solid books, by the way. I have a strong love of Rebel Rising. Yes.
It's tough seeing Rebel Rising go out in the first round. Distinct lack of car sex, though, in Rebel Rising. So,
is there a consolidation bracket or the losers bracket where they can come up all the way through the losers bracket and be in the championship at the end? No? Okay, cool.
Hey, Amir and company, think about that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, we've done enough work, Wes. Thanks a lot.
But everyone keep voting, though. Again, Discord and the Book Madness channel on Twitter at UTN_US. Turn those notifications on. Make sure you're seeing those. Turn your notifications on YouTube to see our community posts. And go to our Instagram stories every time one comes up. Notifications everywhere. Click, click, click. You got it. One other thing I actually wanted to mention that's not on our outline, guys. This is going to be weirdly vague to folks because I want to respect privacy and such things. But there is a person on our team who, as we speak, is at the hospital, potentially awaiting the birth of their first child. I'm not going to say who it is. Oh
my God, I haven't checked Slack yet. That's so exciting.
So just for what that's worth, all love everyone has for a good, safe night is appreciated for a member of the UTD team. We're all so excited. We've all been following along. I don't think it'll happen as we're live just because of timing. It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, we love you. And if you're listening to this later on in the week, maybe it's already happened. So anyway, I meant to ask them before we went on if we could share, but they're a little busy. So congratulations. We hope it's all going well. Okay, Utini baby. We're having an amount of Utini babies, this little Rebel Spies. So Anyway, that's happening, and I'm very excited.
They're all joining
Emma,
the content team immediately.
yeah. Speaking of, yes, we're gonna have a babies only Patreon show. Well, actually, Oz and Parker are in the chat, so you might be able to do that. Emma, since you're on the show as well, as our content maestro, as the leader of the orchestra that is the Yatini content machine.
Nice, Eric.
Thank you. Fill us in, because y'all have been burning the midnight oil, the daytime oil. Articles have been coming out the wazoo.
Yeah, for sure. So recently, we kind of went through like a reorganization of Yatini, which kind of involved me getting some help, because we have a lot of writers on the team and only one of me, and that wasn't working out so well. So we have 3 content managers now, Parker, Carl, and JG, and they have absolutely been killing it in helping me, get out all these pieces. Yeah, now I just come up with the ideas, I make it happen. It's really great. So we have several new pieces on the site this week, but I want to shout out a few in particular. First up, we've got Best Star Wars Comics. That's written by Jacob on our team. And it's a great sort of overview if you're getting started with comics. We're definitely trying to increase our comics content, like written content on the site. So that goes towards that. And this is very well done by Jacob.
Oh, hey, it's the Comic Trail Shadows that didn't win a Yutini. That's weird.
Oh. Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
Had to bring it up.
Always gotta. It's an excellent article and a great comic.
Yes, very much so. And then another one I want to shout out here is Everything You Need to Know About Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's by our very own Jared Mays. And this is like the piece if you need to know anything about Thrawn. Like if Thrawn ends up showing up in a TV show soon, hint, hint, we don't know. This is the article that you send to your confused family members that only watch The Mandalorian.
That's the pitch. Oh my God, that's exactly the pitch.
That's it. That's exactly what Jared did with this piece. He broke down his history in Legends, his history in canon, and like very thoroughly, especially with the Ascendancy trilogy, which is like super important to his story. And my goodness, it's so well done. And I definitely wanted to shout out Jared on that one. So good job, buddy. And
amazing.
One more that I want to shout out as well. What was it? Yesterday was Rebels Remembered.
Yes.
And we have a really fun piece up on the site that JG, like I mentioned, one of our content managers, he had this idea, and I was so excited when he brought this to me because it's just like the best idea, and I'm like mad I didn't think of it. Basically, he sent out a survey to the Yutini staff, and several of us responded with what Rebels means to us to celebrate its 5-year anniversary. So he put that together in an article, and it's a really special piece that means a lot to all of us, especially JG. JG is like obsessed with Rebels, so I'm really glad that he got to do this, and I'm glad that it's on the site for everybody to read.
So good, and shout out to the entire content team. Again, all of this stuff is just really fun. It's just really good. And head over to utini.com to make sure that you're reading all the stuff, because it's really great. You can vote for brackets. You can check out articles. You can check out book timelines. And every once in a while, get a podcast in your ears. Why not? And now our life updates. I just want to check in with you guys. Again, and weekly, I just get to hang out with my friends and talk about stuff. I want to see how your week was. Wes, I know you mentioned so your softballness and you're getting burnt.
Yes.
Question: do they have sunscreen in Texas, and can you use some, or is that like a faux pas in softball?
Oh, they do, but it's like alcohol in Texas. You can't buy it before 10 a.m. at the store, and I have to be there at 10.
Well, there it is. There it is.
One thing that I did do this weekend, and I was surprised how many Star Wars characters or actors were in this movie. I went and saw the Oscar-worthy, what do you want to call it, theater piece, Cocaine Bear, on Saturday.
You did!
Yes. So Alden Ehrenreich was in this movie. He was so good. He was so good in this.
Awesome.
And also Ice Cube's son was in this. Another Star Wars, Wars character. And then there was somebody else. There was another person that was in Star Wars, and I forgot who it was.
Kerry Russell.
Yes, Kerry Russell. There you go. Yeah. So there's 3 of them.
Broken and Han. Look at that.
They
What a
really
crew.
catapulted their their movie careers into Cocaine Bear. Man, this movie was more graphic than I had anticipated. So you're in for a
There-
treat if
There
you
are
want to
like
watch
three
it.
people that get mauled by a bear in the trailer.
Well, you know,
Did they
show
just
it,
make
so.
a Star Wars equivalent? Could that be Solo 2, like Cocaine Bantha? Like Spice Bantha? Would that
Spice
work?
Bantha, yeah, there it is. It's a spice. I tell you what, we actually had like AMC A-list reservations to go see that last week, and we didn't. We got busy over the night, but that's the great thing about A-list is that like doesn't matter. It's just a reservation. I pay for it anyway. But I'm excited to catch that at some point.
You can watch it at home. You don't need to go to the movie theater.
Okay, we'll see. I'll stream it. But what I did do this week, so this past weekend was my lovely partner, my girlfriend Charlie's birthday, and we got to
Yay.
celebrate that. She loves old movies as well, and what I did, I got to surprise her. I was very happy about it. I rented out part of this indie movie theater we have in Charlotte, and it's like a movie screen with only like 2 rows, but you can rent the room by the hour, and I give them a DVD, so I gave them her favorite Fred Astaire movie from like 1930 something, and we showed up and we sat in the chairs on the big screen, and she'd never seen it in the theater before, obviously, and then they just showed it, so we got to watch that for her birthday, and that was a real blast.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
So
man.
yeah,
cool.
and you know what? Shout out to Top Hat with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Real good, real good. You know, I've seen it before, obviously, but I'm like, you know what? Fred Astaire, hot take, solid. You know? So happy birthday, honey. I love you. I'm so glad we had a good weekend. And that was most of it. Other than that, it's been trying to relax and not think about work. So that was that. Emma, how was your week? How you doing?
Yeah, my week was incredibly boring. I am sad to report.
Okay, though. That's
Yeah.
Is that better?
You know, maybe. You know, I was inside for like half of the week because it was like snowing and icy on the road. So then you can't do anything. Oh, here's an interesting story that came from the inside here. So, you know, I when I'm here at college, I rent a place that's right on the beach. It's awesome. And I look out the window every morning when I'm eating breakfast to look at the beach, right? Great. And this morning, I see the craziest thing I have ever seen take place on this beach. I thought I was hallucinating, okay? All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I'm just sitting there eating my frozen waffles, right? Just getting ready for the day. It's too early in the morning for this, right? It's
right.
like 6:30 in the morning. Out of the corner of my eye, I see this dark thing moving very quickly. So I look out. I'm like, what is that? It's a horse. A horse. Like a horse.
Wild?
Running. No, not wild. He's towing like a wagon. And a very small wagon. And in the wagon is a man. Like crunched up very small so he can fit in the wagon. And the horse is flying. Like he's going so fast. I had no idea how to react to that. Like,
What? Now that's pod racing. Like what? in the
Yeah.
world?
I've seen horses on the beach before, just walking, like people on horseback, just walking. Like, I think that's like kind of normal. I think there's like a farm
Sure,
around
on
here
the
or something.
beach, yeah, horses on, but
Right, but then like he's like zooming, okay, like down the beach. I wish I took a video of it in time. It was like funny and also like mildly like concerning, you know. It's like,
Well, Emma,
I hope that
wow.
like then you saw a cop car like behind it, like
Like,
Was
get
it-
him, the horse guy.
was it
That
eerily
would've been so
similar of this picture that we took that same day? Is this the same guy?
that honestly looks pretty accurate, except that looks more of like a bicycle seat. He was like in a wagon.
The wagon.
But that
That's like a
seriously
mustard.
looks very close. And can you imagine that? Can you imagine me just sitting in my chair at 6:30 in the morning, just eating some frozen waffles, and that thing comes by my window?
No thanks.
She'd be like, "How much for a ride?"
I
You
know.
gotta get out of
Carriage
Maine.
ride. It's
You gotta get
it's
out
a
of Maine
Maine Beach
officially.
carriage ride.
I know.
I don't trust it.
I mean, guys, I can't even tell you, like, the weirdest things happen on the beach in Maine in the winter. It's it's just very true. You know, there was somebody cross country skiing on the beach when it was snowing that day, like cross country skiing. And I was like, okay, like that's
Gotta get your workout in sometime. Good for him or her.
You live in such a
Wow.
in such a different. It's the same country, but it's not the same universe.
It's not.
It's fascinating.
I know.
All
So
right.
anyways, that's my interesting thing for the week. You know.
So Charles, you got a horse drawing a man in a wagon on like a frozen ocean. What'd you do this week? How you doing?
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing compared to that. Certainly. I have an animal related story, I guess.
Hey,
my
good.
dog Coda is currently in a cone of shame, guys. He's in
no.
he's in a cone of shame. He didn't get fixed. He's already been through that. But he managed to like give himself a hot spot on his face. And I was trying to doctor him up at home, and I'm not a veterinarian, and I failed. And so we had to take him in, and now he's wearing his cone of shame, and he runs into stuff, and he has no depth perception. He doesn't know how wide the cone is compared to how wide he usually is.
That's tough.
Poor guy's just, I
Baby.
mean, just clipping everything, walking around the house. He's actually not at my house right now, but
I was gonna say let him
he's
in the
with
room.
Nicole's parents, because we are going out of town. That's the other thing that's big with me is we're going to Nashville to celebrate Nicole's birthday coming up, because her and Charlie are birthday neighbors.
Yeehaw.
Awesome. Yeehaw.
That's awesome.
Yeehaw, indeed. Well,
And
I
we're
hope Coda
taking.
gets better.
I forgot to tell you the best part. We're taking a horse-drawn wagon ride.
all the way.
To get you're just gonna take it up the coast.
That guy was on his way to pick us up. Is really what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Uber's wild, man. You can really get anywhere. It's amazing.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I hope you guys have a good time. I gotta add a coda onto mine because I got something that Emma will appreciate.
Ooh.
That I'll be doing soon.
Nice.
Right later, the Captain Rex helmet Lego came out. Emma, you already did this.
Yeah. Oh man, it's such a fun build.
So I'm very excited. That'll be coming soon. All right. We also want to say a quick thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/Utini. We had a new monthly patron this week named Danny Jones. That's Danny Dimes. You're the quarterback of the New York Giants. You're not worth $45 million, okay? Thank you for the Patreon follow, but know your worth.
Hopefully Danny's a sports fan.
Hopefully.
Otherwise,
dude, thank you. Even if you're not, make sure you go over and listen to the latest episode of MC Utini with Emma and her fantastic sister as they talk about all things Marvel. Of course, if you're over at the patreon.com/Utini, because that other link doesn't work anymore, I found out. Patreon.com/Utini. Make sure you're enjoying everything over there. We got some awesome Star Wars archive stuff coming up. It's just going to be a good year for y'all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. No news this week, but tomorrow we do have the official release of Star Wars Jedi: Battle Scars by Sam Maggs. Comes out March 7th, and Hunter's Battle for the Arena is coming out. People have been tagging us in pictures of it. Never stop doing that. I want to see it.
It's literally like the best part of the week is like multiple people tagging us in these pictures.
I want to know.
Told you.
Like, I also went to my Barnes & Noble because I saw people getting early ones last week, and I didn't find it, but I told them to, like, put a copy aside for me because we're not getting a review copy of that one because, again, I think it's a myth. I still don't think it's real. But I did buy Priory of the Orange Tree, so I went in for a Star Wars book as a bit and walked out with a $25 book I'm not going to read for a while. So that's
Fair.
Barnes & Noble for you.
Wait, hang on a second. You can have them set aside books for you at Barnes & Noble?
Yeah, just walk in and say,
so
hey,
cool.
put this aside.
What? See, folks,
pretty good.
Living in Maine, there is not another great part of it. You'd think that it's like the worst place.
There's
in the
not
world,
books.
But, no, there's no books.
There's not.
None at all. You have to go 45 minutes up or 45 minutes down
to find books.
to find books. But there was a news article last week that said that they're opening up Barnes & Noble in my hometown, and I could like cry of joy.
Oh,
That is
So
nice.
awesome.
It is
So
nice
excited.
just to walk into a Barnes and Noble and smell a coffee, and then
Yep,
just be like,
yep.
just peruse, and
Yep.
you can be there all day.
My
That was my
sister
problem.
visited.
It's great.
My sister visited me a couple weekends ago, and we went to 2 Barnes and Nobles on the same day.
That's perfect.
That's
It's
like
great.
ultimate. Like, okay, so in Massachusetts, there's a 2-story Barnes and Noble, and it's awesome.
Those
It's
are the
like really
best.
great. It's like so
Yeah.
exciting to go there. Like, I'll make a pilgrimage out to Massachusetts just to go to Barnes and Noble.
It's such a good time. Like see, my problem is though, and if you work at my Barnes and Noble, please don't use this against me. I'm such an easy mark.
You take
'Cause
the
I'm
books
walking
into
around-
the bathroom?
No, I don't, because I'm a decent man, Wes. Except if I paid for them, then they're mine. But like, if I'm picking up a book and I think I want it, but I'm not going to buy it, and I look at it, and then a worker walks past me, as they did this week, and we're like, "Oh, that one's really good." Then I bought it.
They got
I'm
you.
like, "Dang it! I feel like I was letting them down if I don't buy it." So
It's
Anyway.
someone's job at that store to just walk around and
It's
say
full.
that to everyone holding a book.
it works.
Oh,
like a
yeah.
charm.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
what's
great
your
one.
favorite
That's
part in
really
it?
good.
Oh, I mean, I kind of like it all. It's all really good.
Yeah. Beginning, the end, some of the
I kind
middle.
of just started
you know?
it, but
But that's part of it. They're like, hey, because you know what they're saying? Hey, Eric, you did a good job picking that one. And I'm like, I did a good job? Thank you. And I'm not going to
Give me
dig
my
any
money
deeper
now.
into that. But you know what? Everyone watching and listening, you did a good job. If you pre-ordered Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars, which is coming out tomorrow, if you haven't pre-ordered it, it's fine. You can go pick it up. And be sure you tune into our review coverage. As always, we're going to have a video review on this YouTube channel and a written review at utini.com. Also, we have an interview on this very podcast feed. It's audio only, but that's between me and author Sam Maggs, which happened last week.
Yay.
I can unequivocally say she is one of like the top 3 people I've ever interviewed, I think. I had such a blast
Oh,
talking to
awesome.
Sam. Shout out to Lauren on the Penguin Random House Pulpit PR team as well, who legit makes scheduling everything the easiest it could possibly be. She's an absolute icon and the best. And to Sam, it was so much fun. So I hope you tune in. Again, it'll be on the Living Force podcast feed tomorrow on audio only. So make sure to go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts if you're a YouTube viewer, and check that out because it was a super, super fun conversation. We talked a lot about Dragon Age. So if you're a BioWare fan, go check that out. All right, before we get into our fun little game of the week, we want to talk about the Star Wars TV shows that are releasing. That's right. Y'all, we've made it. It's March 6th of 2023. There are multiple Star Wars TV shows being released concurrently. And it's kind of wild to be here. And first off, we want to do our little one-sentence review of the Bad Batch episode of this week, see what we thought. And then Charles is going to tell you all a little bit about how we're going to do our Mando coverage this year. But Emma, guest of honor, starting out this week's episode, Retrieval, episode 11 of the Bad Batch season 2. What'd you think, briefly?
Yes, briefly. I was so hyped to see the Zillow Beast back. I've been like wondering about
Yes!
that. It feels like, some loose ends are getting tied up for the most part. We still have some questions afterwards, but glad to see that being worked on. And I just love the furthering of like the whole lore around cloning. I find it so fascinating, and it's important to the Bad Batch story, but it's also very important to the Mandalorian. And the new Doctor guy was super creepy. Like, it's just, I don't know. I really like this episode. I think it really felt like it had higher stakes than the other ones, and I think I enjoyed that. And I want to know more about Mount Tantus. That place is fascinating to me. So.
Yup. Yeah, we got a lot of looks at that. Probably our closest look thus far at the inner workings of it. Charles, you caught up. You did some binging, man.
I caught up. I have watched all of the previous weeks now. So I watched like 3 episodes today straight. And I will say that this one was by far the best out of those 3. So I watched the like 2 Ipsium mine ones where they lose their ship and then they go get it back. And then I watched this one. And yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that Emma said. Dr. Hemlock, I think it's Dr. Hemlock. So he's named after a plant that kills you. So that's, he's
Right.
Dr.
Makes
Death.
sense.
That's
Makes
not
sense.
great. He has got this like calm confidence that reminds me a little bit of Thrawn, actually. It's very disconcerting.
Yeah.
I
thought
think
you were
he
gonna
could
say
be a
Corey.
pretty good villain.
Yeah, Thrawn. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey as well. Same premise. Yeah, so I agree with all that. And yeah, I just want more of the cloning story. I mean, I thought the Zilla Beast was fun. Those episodes, man, those were so long ago now. But yeah, at the very end where Palpatine says we're gonna hang on to this thing, and to think that this many years later they're still kind of picking up where they left off, it's reassuring. I mean, just to know that they're not just throwing stuff and seeing what sticks on a wall. You know, they are making little plans to kind of follow up on things they set up.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Wes, how'd you like this one?
I really liked it. Just in the very beginning when we saw the Republic Commando troopers or Republic
Delta
Commandos.
Squad.
So
Scorch.
and
Officially.
and so like even the lighting on their helmets, I was like, oh, that is such an easy pull for Hasbro to get a helmet that just like stays lit, but you just have to like they like sell specific Star Wars batteries that you have to put into this specific
Star Wars batteries.
Like, it doesn't work on any of these, but these Star Wars Hasbro batteries. But also when I saw the Zillo Beast and when it was like what like we would call it a baby, it reminded me of the little plants in Super Mario Brothers, you know, that come out of the like the mouth itself.
Yes.
Wow.
It reminded me of a Demigorgon from
Yes.
Stranger
Oh my
Things.
God.
Yes.
Same. I was wondering the whole episode. I was like, why do these things look so familiar? Like,
100%.
why? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think this was the strongest episode in a long time. Really had a great time with it. I will say, what the hell, Disney Plus put the Zillo Beast in the banner? There's like new Bad Batch episode. It was in
Did
the
they really?
banner.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty lame. Yeah.
Well, 'cause number one, they always bury the Bad Batch like 5 episodes deep in the banner.
Mm-hmm.
Rude. But yeah, I went and it showed like the end of the episode in like the
I know.
promo image. So
You know, interestingly enough,
That was a bummer.
I clicked the continue watching thing, and
Mhm.
that thumbnail image was Scorch.
yeah.
So either way, you were screwed. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, guys, there's so just show Hunter being like, ugh, or Echo being like, or like, not Echo, that, God, I miss Echo, but Omega being like, like whatever you want. Who cares what the thumbnail is? But
Right.
aside from that, great time. I love those Zillo Beast episodes of Clone Wars. Really cool they brought it back. And yeah, this new dude, I love his little mannerisms. He's also voiced by a decently famous actor. I looked him up. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. I always love his work. I can't place him right now. But I just love his voice acting, the menace in his voice, like you said, very Thrawn-esque. And like I'm very creeped out and excited by this plot line. So I hope we get more of this. The Tanda stuff, again, Bad Batch, you're doing great. Just keep it going.
Yes.
This is it.
Yes.
2 in a row
We're
is
on
good.
our way.
I think
Two in a
based
row
on
is
the
good.
ending, like they will keep it going. Yeah, because
I think so.
Hunter said something about sending the data to Echo and
Mhm.
Rex.
And
and-
Rex,
God.
yeah.
So I think it's gonna keep moving. One other quick thing I wanted to add that I meant to say earlier is that, you know, as a biologist myself, I really appreciate the presence of space genetics in Star Wars. I love it. It's good.
Yeah, Emma, like, I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. Yeah. God.
Like, put me in, coach. I'll do the Zillo Beast genetics for you.
That'd be amazing. All right, that's the next term paper there.
Yeah.
But of course, a lot of us, I think, watched Bad Batch a little later than usual on Wednesday because we had something else to watch in the morning. Mando Season 3, Episode 1, Chapter 17, The Acolyte. Finally premiered. And before we get too much into it, Charles, tell the folks, we're switching up our Mando coverage a bit this year. Obviously, we switched up our Bad Batch a bit. We didn't have a bounty hunt this week, so how are we going to handle Mando on a grand scale?
Yeah, so just overall to remind everybody, we kind of have incorporated our bounty hunt coverage or our TV show coverage into the Living Force proper. But what we've had up until now has been like the Bad Batch, where we can kind of get away with, 5 minutes of review. We can't do that for the Mandalorian. I mean, it's too good. This first episode is too good to even be confined by this segment. So what we've essentially decided is we're going to take it in some group of 3-4 episodes, whatever it is, and dedicate an entire episode of the Living Force that will basically be a bounty hunt episode where we go deep dive into all those episodes, however many it is, and we put all of our time and all of our attention on that thing. And I think Mando, based on the first episode, is going to be worthy of that.
That's it. Yeah, I agree. So stay tuned. There's 8 episodes. So if we get a good chunk that has like a good story thing and then they separate it, maybe we'll go ahead and talk about that chunk. But as a special little surprise, not a surprise, an expected thing, because it's the first episode back, Charles, you already said you kind of expect the season is going to be great with what you got. Wes, Emma, just initial vibes on the beginning of the season going forward. Wes, I want to go to you first. Just how you feeling about the return of Mando so far?
I thought it was a good setup, but I wasn't blown away. So it was they kind of solidified what he was going to do, is he was going to go to the mines of Mandalore. So they solidified that. Now we know exactly what he's going to be doing. Yeah. He has Grogu with him. They set it up perfectly, I guess. They set it up so we know what we're getting into in episode 2, hopefully. I mean, they've thrown us a swerve on other series before, so who knows? Yeah. It could be a whole different... He couldn't even be in this next episode, which I doubt, but still. But it was good. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah. I do like that. He literally did get a waypoint where she's like, it's in Boston, under the mall. Like, it's like, here's where you go. Here's the city, and it's under this building. So he's got a waypoint on his map. So, Emma, what you think?
Oh man, I had so much fun with this episode. I literally don't remember the last time I felt like that joy, like in my heart. Like it was really good. Like I love it when Star Wars is like super silly like that. You know, I mean, there's like droids holding the cape and they go thunk 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 down the stairs. Like that's so good.
I love those guys.
Oh, they're so good. I hope they saw those at Galaxy's Edge.
Wes pulling the Grogu with the chair.
Oh, yeah. That was so funny too. And he like pulled a little it looked like a
Skittle.
a pomegranate seed or something.
Yeah, sure. One or the other.
So good. And Carl Weathers was amazing in this episode as well. And the Anzellans, I think I'm like one of the world's biggest Babu Frick fans.
You absolutely are.
I was like so hyped about that. Yep. Like they were so cute, and Grogu like trying to hug him. Bad baby, no squeeze. Like, it was so funny. Like I can't even handle it. So I'm so excited for this episode. Obviously, I have a love of both Mando and Bo-Katan. Obviously, so I was super hyped for it to come back, and I'm just like so excited for what's next. I really am.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I had a great time with it. It was so much fun to be back, and I think that's what Charlie asked me, how'd you think? I'm like, it was really fun. She's like, oh, you didn't like it. I'm like, oh, no, because like sometimes that's used to like, oh, it's fun.
Right.
Fun.
But you mean it for real, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was legitimately fun. Like Wes, I think they just set a lot of stuff up, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I think that we are going to get a few episodes of build, and stay tuned because we're planning on doing a big kind of recap in a couple weeks. But hey, if something crazy happens this week and it's like, all right, we got to go into it.
Wait a second. Nobody has mentioned the Purgles.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Cool. That was awesome.
That was my favorite part.
My dad, he has watched Rebels a couple of times now, and he watched it like a couple days after I did, and he texted me. He's like, the space whales. And I was like, yes. Like, he was so hyped about that. So
Filoni did it.
When I saw those, I literally screamed at my screen. I was like, no way. Like, it's so
That was
amazing.
my most hyped.
I felt like such a Mr. Smarty Pants by telling Bethany what those are. She's like, what the hell is that? And I was like, well, if you watched Rebels in that episode, everybody thought it was just a weird character. So
it's a whale and a squid. And it goes through hyperspace. Oh, so good. So yeah, excited to see where it goes. Again, every Wednesday, everybody. We got double episodes, I think, for 6 weeks, and then Mando's by itself for the last 2. So
yeah, we got one more week of Pedro Pascal supremacy.
Last of Us.
Oh, The Last of Us is so good, guys. Please go watch it. Like, get Bella Ramsey in a Star Wars too. I need her in a Star Wars.
Why not? Why not? She could be a Mandalorian.
Yes.
But right around the corner, before next week's show on Sunday night, the 12th, we have another event, which is the Academy Awards. The Oscars are coming up, and in honor of the Oscars, we decided let's do a little fun fake awards show. And Charles, I got to give you your flowers on this one, buddy. Your laurels, your trophy. because this was your idea to kind of have a little fun tonight. So why don't you try to tell us what we're going to be doing tonight and see if everyone can play along.
Well, I will accept my flowers with a caveat that I had this fun idea and I explained it so poorly that no one else that showed up here tonight understood what I meant. So we're doing two different things, kind of.
Gonna be
but
great.
they're both fun.
Yeah.
They're both fun. Essentially, Star Wars Superlatives. So most likely to so and so. Full disclosure, my first idea was Star Wars Superlatives, but then the answers can only be other hosts. But we're also going to do some superlatives like, hey, most likely in universe to do this thing, like survive, I don't know, a fall out of a very tall building after having your hand cut off. I'm spitballing here. So things like that, so basically we came with like 8 or 10 of these. We're going to throw some out there and then we're each going to vote and try to convince each other who's right. So some are going to be in universe, some are going to be out of universe, and some are, I don't even know. I don't trust Wes. So we'll see what he's come up with. But Star Wars Superlatives.
Excellent. Yeah, and in the chat, let us know if you have a character you think fits better than we do, or you think one of us is right, especially if it's me. Say it loud and proud. But Charles, as the beginner, I'm pulling up my Google Doc of mine. Start us off with your first category and your pitch for a winner, and let's see if we can outfox you here tonight.
Okay. Well, so like I said, mine are going to be the odd ones out here. So let me take a look at my list.
I'm into it. I don't
want to come out of the gate too hot here because I have some that are mostly just jabs at you guys. So, all right. Actually, this one, I think I should be good because Emma's here instead of Corey, most likely to bankrupt themselves buying Star Wars merchandise.
Ooh, okay.
It's kind of a toss-up.
Most likely to bankrupt themselves buying merchandise.
I'm gonna say myself because I don't have like a big girl job yet.
You're in progress of doing that exact thing.
It's like look if you're not watching this live, basically imagine this. There's 4 squares, right? Me and Wes are in 2 of them. Not really too much behind us, just kind of sitting here in generic offices. Then there's Emma and Eric, and they're each surrounded by just all the Star Wars
items.
It's between you guys.
All right, sure. I'll raise you one, and I will say me and Emma in the Celebration store together.
Yes, that is a dangerous combo.
That is dangerous.
I was gonna buy nothing, and then I went with Emma this past Celebration, going around like, oh, you know what?
I could use that.
I'm pretty sure, Emma, you weren't going to buy these books, and then I put them on your lap at some point.
Yes, that did happen. Sometimes you just got to, like, push each other until, you both make bad decisions. That's exactly what friendship is.
Co-conspirators. All right, so, Parker agrees. The Eric and Emma, we'll split that one, but specifically in the Celebration store.
Yes.
Where anything could happen. I like that a lot.
I love that.
All right. I want to take us a different way now. So I'm going to show another kind of thing we can do. I'm going to do a weird one here. This is going to be a Star Wars in universe. So your answer must be a character. Okay?
Okay.
Who in Star Wars would get the perfect attendance award? Remember we used to have that?
Yeah.
Which
I got that. I got that.
Really, you got it?
A lot of times, bro. I don't miss class. I don't miss class.
I
once went to a midnight premiere in IMAX in a different city of one of the James Bond movies. I don't remember which one it was now. And I still made it to my 8 a.m. theater appreciation class the next morning. In college.
Dude,
no.
So I think the person who would attend all of their classes is probably Padme.
Yep. Parker agrees in the chat.
Answer.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
All right, Parker, you and me are on the same wavelength.
I was kind of going a different direction, and I think Mace Windu. He seems like too important or he thinks too highly of himself to not miss class.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I like that.
I think a character that devoted her life to being In school, Jocasta Nu would be the one
that's
with
a good one.
That's a good one.
one with
I
the
like that.
perfect
And of course, she's like
attendance.
geriatric, so that works for you, Wes. She has a lot
Wes
of
is
classic.
I can't get away from it.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
Wes
good.
has, like, Wes has a custom bound reference book that only has like the geriatric characters in Star Wars, and he
He's
studies
like
it every
90
night.
years old or older.
Oh god, I think Jocasta Nu would be my vote. I gotta say, Masameda I think is up there because he's such a kiss ass. And also,
true.
if he ever missed anything, Palpatine is like, I gotta copy your homework, and he's like, I didn't go. Like he's always got to have his notes ready, because Sheev is always partying. You know how Sheev gets down,
Yeah,
he had a
I
little
guess.
dubstep phase. Yeah.
Wow, I hate that.
No, I think Jocasta Nu. I love Jocasta Nu for that one.
That's a good answer.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right. Emma, what you bringing to the table? What do you got for us?
Yeah, so I was having a really hard time thinking of these, honestly. So I tried to, it signed me out of iCloud. Are you kidding me? Hang
Oh my
on.
gosh.
Wait, I remember one.
Okay.
one.
Most likely to get signed out of iCloud.
Darn Windows computer. No. So I wanted to kind of connect it and make it a little bit meta with my own life. So we all know I'm
Okay.
a big fan of Dr. Phil, right? So
Yes.
Absolutely.
What Star Wars character? Yes. What Star Wars character would be most likely to host a Dr. Phil-esque show, like be a TV doctor?
A quad paw.
Oh,
Quad
God.
paw.
Quad paw.
You give like the crappiest medical advice, though.
Yeah, he's 0 for 1 as far as we've seen him as a
Right.
doctor, right?
No, this is good.
No, I don't think quad paw's the one though. We need a personality, right? A personality, little bit of
Doctor.
medical knowledge.
Cornelius Evazan.
Okay,
Ah.
Evazan solid.
You
Dr.
gotta
Evazan show.
It's like you gotta be one to know one. You know?
This is tough because it's like the Star Wars characters I can think of either would be a good host of a show or they would maybe make good medical decisions, but there's not a lot of crossover.
You got to be a good interviewer. And
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say Lando because I think he's
Oh.
seen
Hey.
enough weird
Oh,
stuff.
that's great.
Yeah, I think he's seen enough weird stuff that he'd probably be like, you know what might help? Because there was this one time, you know, in the Star Caves of Thomboka or whatever.
Yep.
Dude, okay, so
like
in that
that.
same vein, I also kind of like thought about my answer for this one. And very close to yours, I actually thought Lobot. Like low-key,
that is close.
slightly because he's bald. But
Lobot, but with a mustache.
Vader could do it.
so kind of because he's bald, but also because he's intelligent enough to do it. He just doesn't have the personality. That's the only problem. But maybe Lando and Lobot could like double team it. You know, what I mean?
Lobot could be like the
Yeah.
color commentary guy, you know, that they cut
Yeah.
to occasionally.
Cuts
Yeah.
to him. Oh, I'm sorry. I think Thrani in the chat just won though. Hondo.
Oh, yeah, that
that's
would
a good
be-
one.
Welcome,
I mean-
my friend. Welcome. I
Great
have all your
show.
answers.
Off to
Awful
the
medical
ranch with
advice,
you.
but great show.
Hondo. Absolutely Hondo. That's 10 out of 10.
That is so good.
God.
Somebody goes, "Catch me outside." How about that? Well, how would
How
Hondo
about
respond?
that?
It'd be great.
I'll catch you wherever I want to. He would have her shot, and he'd throw Melch at her.
Right.
Melch should be the color commentary guy.
Dude, yes, he'd be like, so I don't know if anybody's ever watched Dr. Phil, but his wife always sits in the stands for every single episode, and they like
Oh, wow.
pander. Sometimes they ask her questions. Melch is the Robin of the situation.
Absolutely. That's perfect. All right, Hondo and Melch, coming to a HoloNet, right? Is that what it is? Still the
Yeah.
HoloNet?
Yeah,
Near
yeah.
you.
Which is
All
good,
right,
'cause
Wes.
somebody needs to replace Dr. Phil. He's going off the air.
Hondo. They have the animatronic. Just put
I
it in
know.
the studio.
Do it.
It's weirdly lifelike.
Yes.
All right, Wes, what you got for us?
Okay, so here's kind of a funny one. I hope.
Good.
Which
Better be.
in-universe character, whether it be canon or legends, would be most likely to call an Uber at the cantina and Tatooine because they had too much to drink?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Who's getting stuck and has to Uber home?
Can I say
also
Hondo
assume,
again?
Yeah, Honda is just always the answer.
Greedo is not in. You can't pick Greedo.
Nope, he's not around. I feel like this character has to be someone whose friends have all left, and they didn't notice, because they have to call an Uber by themselves.
Oh yeah.
I'm placing that in my head here.
I'm gonna say that small Chadra fan, that small bat creature.
Yes.
The underserved bat or the underage bat that's getting served and has to reach up on the counter like this to get his drink. That dude was sauced in the cantina, so it's probably him.
Yeah.
True.
Funny
That's a
enough,
great
that's actually in the that's in the what is the book? The Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yep,
And that character actually just was drunk
talk about him.
the whole time. Yeah.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
I don't
She
know why
was a
I'm
girl.
thinking this. That's right. I forgot about that. I don't know why I'm thinking this. I'm feeling Snap Wexley. I don't know why. I just feel like Snap is just
Snap go in there and get
yeah,
sauced.
Black Squadron goes out for drinks and he like just keeps having too
Blackout
much.
Squadron.
And Poe's like, slow down, buddy. And I say, nope. And then eventually they come out and Snap comes out of the refresher and is like, hey.
I can see it happening. Okay, but here's a good one, I think. Dr. Aphra. You know, like
Oh no. She's going home with somebody.
actually,
She's not going home alone.
that's a good point.
Yeah, we've heard that.
You got me.
She's
there.
like, oh no, I need a ride. I could have an irresponsible hookup, or I could pay for an Uber. Well,
we all know which one she'd be taking. Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my god, that's a good point.
Who is Corey's favorite character from the Clone Wars? The one with the braids. Anyways.
Quinlan Voss?
Quinlan Voss.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you'd be
yeah,
good.
that
Yeah, I know. Or Rail Avaros. So you got one of those. So
Yeah.
he would be
Rail-
most likely to start a fight in the.
Yeah, say. Real Averos most likely to be passed out in the refresher until the next night where he wakes up and just starts again. Just keeps on going.
I guess he wouldn't need to call.
God, what a character. I gotta say, Real Averos, he's that one character. Such a splash in Master and Apprentice and Dooku Jedi
Yes.
Lost.
Yes.
Boom. Never heard from him again.
Nope.
Nope.
No idea. It's been
Don't need
years.
I think we
Don't
brought it
need
up
to.
too.
Iconic.
Anyway. All right, Charles, bring us back. What do you got?
All right, let's see here. Let me peruse my list.
Like a good perusal.
I'm
While
gonna
Charles is
go.
perusing.
I'm gonna go with most likely to have a controversial Star Wars opinion. Like who is the person that is always against the grain, coming out of left field, hot takes? Who is it?
Like in universe?
No,
Or-
again, all of my prompts
four-
were
four of
hosts.
us.
I am not
All
playing
hosts.
the same
Oh,
game as
Okay,
you.
great. People might have a controversial opinion out of us.
I
Yeah.
feel like we're all pretty safe.
I think you know what? I'm gonna say Wes. Only because
I was gonna say West too.
every once in a while you're a sniper shot. You wait for your
good.
moment and then you just nail it. It's like whoa.
It's probably because I latched on to one specific detail that I saw years ago and I can't get it out of my head or something. But I would not say me. I would say
Okay.
I would say Emma. I would say Emma would be
Okay.
the one to have one of the most controversial Star Wars takes.
That's fair. I get pretty entrenched in my opinions.
Because she knows so much about Star Wars, so you can have that kind of dialogue. I'm
law-
pretty
law of
generic.
averages.
I'm pretty generic, so I would say something like just blurt it out, knowing that it might be right, might be wrong, but I would be like, that's right. But I'm like in my head, I'm thinking I'm probably wrong. So there's the
hilarious.
backlash. So that's why I would get picked. I get it.
I'm gonna
that's fair.
break the rule and name someone who's not here because I'm gonna say it's Corey because
it's
Corey
definitely Corey
has
if he was
such
here, yeah.
strong
point.
opinions. I can literally hear him in my head calling something utter trash, and yeah, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
Good point. I just feel like it would flow off his tongue nicely. I mean, this is utter trash. We're like, what? And then we talk about it for half an hour. But the thing about Corey's controversial takes, that if he's presented with a better take, he'll immediately fold and be like, no, that's a good point.
It's true.
Which
Yeah,
is what you
that's
want. But no, I think you're right. I think he starts out with worse ones. All right, I got one for you. Back to Star Wars in-universe characters.
All right.
There's multiple levels to this. There's irresponsibility. There's a need for excitement. And there's a certain vibe of a personality. Most likely to buy Taylor Swift floor seats. Which character is getting on Ticketmaster and just blowing it all?
You let us know, how much is a Taylor Swift floor seat compared to, I don't know, a cover band floor seat? Is it
high.
thousands and thousands of dollars? Okay.
Yes.
So they have to be wealthy, huh? All right.
Many thousands, and you have to make the decision like quickly, because if you're in the like, this is the person that this character set the timer. This character gets their friends to go, and they're like, we're in.
So
I think I have it.
you know who I
have it.
weirdly think it is?
Who?
I think it's Palpatine. I think he weirdly really likes Taylor Swift. But like he would go like in his hood, like so people don't know. And I could see him like sitting on his little data pad, you know, and it says he's in the queue, and then all of a sudden it says that they're sold out actually, and he's like, no. Like, I don't know, it fits too well.
Also, is he a big Reputation fan? Is that his album? Palpatine's like all into the Dark Taylor.
Yeah.
Dark
I was at the Reputation tour and it blew my mind.
This just sounds like a Robot Chicken sketch.
It does.
Easily. That's kind of what a lot of these are. I like that. Emma, you said you had one.
Yeah. Okay. So another one popped into my head when Charles was speaking. So I'll say them both, I guess. My first thought was Mon Mothma. I think she's a secret Swiftie.
Sure.
She's wealthy enough to afford it, and I
Great
think
point.
I think she would take Luthen with her. Like, if we're also talking about who they would take.
Please.
Luthen is like up for a night on the town, I think.
Yeah.
So it's that. But then I had a thought. I was like, oh wait, this one I can actually back up with facts. Padme, because in Queen's
Peril.
which one? Peril. You go to see neurotransmitter affection. So she's obviously into concerts, and she would bring all of her handmaidens with her, and they would have a blast.
She'd buy for her friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So let's say a character that has access to money. I wouldn't say has money, has access to money, and is trying to impress another person to come with him. So he buys 2 tickets. I say it's a he. He buys 2 tickets. So Rush Clovis steals money from the banking clan to buy floor seats and show them to Padme, Emma, to get her to go.
He would do that.
Oh my
He would
gosh.
actually do that.
And then Padme takes the tickets, but then goes with Anakin.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's like,
And then
put him on
Anakin
my
finds
datapad.
out and rips them up in front of his face.
It's like in The Office when Michael and Holly get tickets to, I can't remember what band, but Michael buys them off of Holly and then just rips them up. That's like straight out of The Office. That is like a 1,000 IQ answer.
I love that. I love that so much.
So good.
That's so good.
That's funny.
Wow.
I'm gonna say I was gonna say I was gonna go Afro again, but with a similar like stealing money to go, trying to impress Sana to get her back at some point, one of their tiffs. But Sana actually doesn't like Taylor Swift, but Afra doesn't know because she doesn't listen enough, so she just assumed, that's part of their tension. It's a whole thing. But I like Clovis doing it and then doing that whole Clone Wars / Office episode again. That's phenomenal.
Yes.
All right, Emma, you started off with Dr. Phil. Are we staying in daytime? Where are we going?
Actually, oddly enough, I am going to stay in the TV realm. I'm going to, the theme is that I kind of made them personal to me in a way. Another part about me is I love reality television. I watch way too much of it. So, what character is most likely to star in a reality television show like a la like The Real Housewives, but it doesn't have to be a woman?
Who's gonna be in like a drama
like super rich, has like the pettiest drama, that literally doesn't matter to anyone, not even the person they're arguing with, probably.
Oh my God.
Gets
Who is
memed
he?
a lot.
I got it.
things
I
like
got
that.
it.
Go for it.
It's Perrin from Andor.
Perrin?
Perrin.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is such a good
That's
answer.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Dude.
I don't think there's another answer.
That is like the
lounging
accurate
around.
answer.
Yes! I
That's
win!
good. That's super
That
good.
is
Yeah,
so
I don't even want to answer after that one.
I'm trying to
even
think.
try it.
Oh my God. The Real Housewives of Chandrila.
Yeah, it's gotta be somebody who's, doesn't have to be, but like is high up there in stature, like whether it be on Coruscant or something like that. But it can't be like somebody that's a rebel that's been down in the dirt, and that's just like because they're scratching and clawing to get back to
Right.
like some kind of normalism, so they don't really want to be on TV, but to like really play it up. Who's it? Oh man, that's such a good.
Oh,
one.
I think
Thrani
I
has a
have-
good one in the chat.
What is it?
Got to be a Graf. Like Xylan
Oh,
Graf.
yeah.
The Graf family. The High
Yeah.
Republic. That's
Good
good.
answer.
That's a good one.
That's
think,
good.
I think I might have a good one. I think Kira would be a good choice because I think she would stir up the most drama, and I think that she would do it to either make money if we're in like the Solo era, or if she's in her Crimson Dawn stuff, you know, that would be like peak drama, I think.
That would be pretty good.
Now that you say that, C-3PO would be good because he'd
my
always
God,
be
oh my
like telling everybody secrets and acting like, oh, sorry, I didn't know you didn't want him to know that kind of thing.
Oh my God,
That-
listen to me right now.
Also, Anthony Daniel would just be good at it too. Like
Yeah.
get her out of the suit. I don't know.
He would, and they
In
would
it-
be like, whenever C-3PO hosts his dinner parties, he'd be correcting everybody's etiquette. You know?
I just
such
want
a
to see a confessional, like one of those one cam, you know, where they're in the booth, like with just C-3PO's deadpan face. But
Oh my
that made me
God.
think, what about K2SO? Because he's got the sass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Does.
That's a good
Or
one.
L3 would be good.
L3 would be
droids.
really
Yeah,
good.
droids.
Droids as a whole.
There
Yeah.
should just be a Droids reality TV show.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Real
they just tell us
Housewives
how it
of
is.
I don't know,
Space.
droids in space. Yeah.
Droids in space. There you go. Just go
Yes.
droids in space. Great. Oh my gosh! All right, here, Lucasfilm, you're welcome. All the free ideas we're giving you on this podcast right now.
They could be shorts on Disney Plus,
Cool.
easy, just like a
Yes.
2-minute long thing.
Costs nothing, right? It's all free.
Right.
Wes, what do you got?
All right, so I was gonna do an easy one. It's just like it was basically anybody's opinion of best Star Wars characters music theme, right? So whether it be Leia's theme, Rey's
Okay.
theme, it's always
Little
gonna be Rey.
classic.
It's always gonna be Rey's theme, first of
Doesn't
all.
agree.
But secondly, which character would be most likely to walk into a party to their own theme? Be so smug to where like, this is me, and I am showing up to this party to my own theme, and they know they can hear it in their head. That they're not just like walking into the party thinking that they're just like, hey, how you doing? I know I have my theme playing in the background, but it's like real smug about it.
I mean, it has to be Vader, right? Because like
It crossed my mind.
you know
Power walking
that Darth Vader walking into Echo Base under his breath is like dum 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 dum.
Playing in his helmet speakers.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's got some like
Dude, that's
some
so good.
Dre beats on inside of the helmet.
Absolutely. Oh, Aaron Thompson in chat. That's mine. I love that. Lando.
Yeah,
That's a
Lando
good-
Lando
is such a
would
good
do
one. yeah.
Especially Donald Glover Lando with the yellow shirt and the big white cape.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The whole
Oh yeah.
doves flying in the background or whatever. Or
Yep. A lot of money
Okay.
on doves.
I think Darth Maul would be a good one. Like I could see that one happening.
Ooh.
You know, like he just walks
Sure.
into like the throne room on Mandalore, and it's like da, 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 da.
Yes.
You know, it's like, it'd be good.
it is
Pretty
hot.
good.
And he did like the clicky clack of his spider legs.
Yeah, which
I don't
mall
know.
are we talking about? Spider legs.
Spider
Spider
legs.
Mall.
Spider legs
That guy
mall
was
is
crazy enough
Spider
to
legs
listen to
mall
his
is my
own-
mall. Garbage
I
mall is
think-
my mall.
Garbage garbage spider mall. Oh my god.
I think garbage mall would probably provide the best effect.
Yeah, there's one. What mall is your favorite mall? Garbage mall.
God.
All right, so yeah.
All right. That's solid. All right, I think we had a couple more rounds. Charles, bring us down to earth again.
Okay. All right.
Make us think about ourselves and our inadequacies.
Yes. Let us look inward. I invite you to answer this question, which is, who is the most likely to have marched on the Jedi Temple with Anakin?
Hosts?
Hosts. Again, we are not playing the
This is
same
tough.
game.
This is tough. So who's most likely to follow a fascist regime?
Yeah,
what
and
you're
murder
saying.
a bunch of children. That's the question.
Corey.
That is the prompt.
Corey, for sure. Yeah.
Corey.
Next question, easy.
Well, all right then.
You've heard, everybody has heard him say, for a price, I'll do anything. Kind of. So
That's
right.
right. Great medical in the Grand Army of the Republic, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, Vader needs a personal doctor. So.
I think that's true. Yeah. Okay. Here. Yes. Sorry, that was our first unanimous one. Love you, buddy. Here. This is back. This could be hosts, but it's not. This is gonna be back to characters.
Okay.
Who is most likely to get wasted at the company Christmas party?
Oh.
And they're like, ugh, that guy.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say no Hondo, no Lando.
Wait, I have such a good answer. I don't
Do
know
it.
why this just came to me. Colonel Meeber Gascon.
Gascon?
That little green guy. He can't hold his alcohol.
That's
Oh
right.
my God, I've not thought about him in years.
You all just had like the blankest looks on your face.
I was like, hold on a second. I was like, oh yeah, I know where that is.
No, that's pretty good. That's
from
pretty
the
good.
So if anybody's kind of thinking about that one, that's from the Clone Wars episode with he's in the droids episode. So he's the little frogman guy.
It's his favorite.
His favorite episodes. Yes, I actually just thought of a better one. Babu Frick. That's a good one.
Oh yeah. They give it, the bartender serves him a regular sized drink. He's like, no problem. I can drink this. And he's just hammered after a couple sips.
Blackout drunk.
Yeah. I'll actually say mine is a surprise. I'm gonna say weirdly Padme, because I think that her life is so hard that she just goes to the function and she's like, I don't have to schmooze. I'm gonna try, and Anakin's like, just chill out, just take it easy, and she's like, all right, you're driving tonight, and she just goes like one day a year.
I love that.
I can see that.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she does. Good for her.
I think, what is it, Emma? You're the right person to answer this probably. Doesn't the Hulk say it's his secret that he's always angry?
Yes.
Right. It's Yoda's secret that he's always wasted. Like.
That's why he
the way he talks. Look at how he acts on Dagobah when Luke arrives. Yeah, maybe he's just drunk. Maybe if he was sober, he wouldn't speak that way. I don't know.
Like,
But
you're an embarrassment.
Yeah.
You embarrass me.
The way that he acts when Luke arrives on Dagobah, I mean,
Yes.
he has to be inebriated. I mean, he has nothing else to do in that little hut, right? So
Seagull's Stop It Now is actually canon. He was just drunk.
There you go.
He's just making his own hooch on Dagobah, just trying to get as strong as possible.
I love that answer.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. Few more. Emma, what you got?
Yeah, so Eric actually made this one up before the show, and I think it's too good not to ask. Also relating, to personal life. I have narcolepsy. It's a lot of fun. Not who in the Star Wars universe do you think would have narcolepsy? It can be the kind where you absolutely collapse, or the kind where you just fall asleep. Doesn't matter.
Ben Quadraneros.
Oh my god.
That's
That
pretty
is
quick.
such a fast answer.
That was pretty quick.
I don't know why I was feeling. We never got to see him race.
That's why his thing broke down. He fell asleep.
Sleep.
Dude,
Oh no.
that fits.
that is so good. What?
I I have another thought still based on the pod race.
Okay.
Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he literally falls asleep during the most exciting, one of the most exciting
Great
parts
point.
of that movie.
So true. And he fell asleep in episode 6. He was asleep like in his throne room behind that curtain, but like there's so many people and activity around him. He must be a narcoleptic.
Did we just unlock something here?
I think more likely he probably has obstructive sleep apnea, but we're gonna go with narcolepsy, some kind of sleep disorder.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I haven't even thought of an answer myself, but I honest to goodness think that your 2 answers are like answers.
Something about that arena, it just does it. Just knocks you out. Just knocks you out.
Yeah, I can't think of another time that we ever see anybody sleeping or like even a semblance of sleep in Star Wars.
It doesn't happen.
Kind of bizarre when you
other than Padme, who wasn't really sleeping. She was just like she was making sure her hair didn't get messed up. Like
like I'm lounging slightly.
It's like newsflash, nobody sleeps that angelically. Just
I just wanted to like pin this character into any one of these answers, and I wanted it to be Tan Divo, the cop from Clone Wars.
Oh,
I weirdly thought about him earlier. This guy sucks.
He could be first drunk at the party. He could be the one that has narcolepsy. He could be the one that like is the most likely to buy front row tickets at Taylor Swift. Any of them.
Have a Real Housewives show.
He would.
He's everything. God, he sucks.
Does. I haven't thought about that guy in so long. What? Wild. What made you think of him?
I don't know. He's just
going through something.
He's so different. Like in any of the like Clone Wars characters, like he's a cop. That's it. Like they have they have cops, and they have Jedi. And during the Clone Wars era, they need cops.
Just a cop. Oh God, he sucks. All right. Well, now that he's off the board, Wes, what do you got? And then we'll do one more.
Okay. So, speaking of pod racing, it's eerily funny. Which character from the Bad Batch would be the most likely to win a pod racing race?
Other than Tech?
I mean, it's Tech, right?
Oh, damn. I guess so, right? That's such a stupid question. Okay, yeah.
Wait,
I didn't even think about that episode when I came up with it.
Guys, wait.
Tech.
All right, so Tech excluded.
Well, nobody else got a chance to do it. Okay, so
that's true. We don't know.
He just kind of barged his way in there. Actually, he was the most qualified. Let's just say that. All right.
I would accept any answer but Wrecker, honestly.
Yeah. I will say season 1 Omega, because every episode she had a new weird talent she was great at. So like, I don't know, maybe. Do you guys remember that weird discourse time in Bad Batch season 1 where everyone's like, is Omega force sensitive? She's gotta be.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. And I thought that in the racing episode that they were gonna like make her do the racing and then reveal that she can do it because she's force sensitive or something. I legitimately thought that was gonna happen. I don't actually think that that's like a true theory, but the internet does wild stuff to your brain.
Yeah. But it's gotta be Tech. I think that episode kind of just laid it out nicely, right? It's like,
Gonky.
He can calculate everything. Gonky?
Yeah.
Just plug him in.
He'll do the rest, I
think he could try.
It was a crash and burn.
It's not Sid.
Try. No.
It's not Sid. That's for sure, because it's a useful skill. So.
Who most likely sucks? Sid.
Sid. Hey, remember this episode when Sid wasn't in it? Oh man, what a vibe.
Man, she was so mean to those guys in this last episode.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I was confused by that.
I remember we have a Bad Batch Slack for staff, and there was like so much talk after the episode. Now I'm remembering where everyone's like, you know what? I think Sid might die, guys. I'm just getting the vibe. Like, everyone's like, you think Sid's gonna die? Are they gonna get rid of Sid? Are they gonna leave? Like, there's just this excitement about maybe we're getting away.
It's like I like the idea of her at first, and now I'm a little over it.
We're good. We're done.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
All right, one more go around. Everyone gets one more category. Charles, what you got for us, buddy?
Well, here's the deal, guys. The more that I read, the prompts that I have left, or the superlatives that I have left, the more I realize that I think everyone's just going to resoundingly say Corey Helton. So, I think we should just skip me this round. I think we should keep it in universe.
He's just
I think
that
we should.
super of a guy.
I know. I mean, I'm just, the prompts I have left. Who's most likely to show up to the podcast and not know what we're talking about that night? Stuff like that. I mean, we would say Corey. So,
Love you, buddy.
We're excited to have you back, buddy. All right. Here, I'll throw one in here. And we're getting personal, right? So I'll do one that's again slightly personal for in universe. It's stretching my personal history, but I think it works better as a category this way. What Star Wars character is most likely to major in English?
Bail Organa.
Damn.
Knee-jerk reaction.
Interestingly
good.
enough, I also had a knee-jerk reaction. It was Mon Mothma.
Also good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good friends. They
would
give off
sit
English
next
major
to
vibes.
each other. They would sit next to each other in the front row
Yeah.
and borrow each other's like pencil sharpener.
Yep.
That's solid. My only thing
Admiral
about them-
Akbar. Definitely not.
I
Definitely
love
not.
T.S. Eliot. Like,
It's a run-on sentence.
it's a contraction.
All right.
That'd be good. Let's see. Who else has like their head in the clouds?
Definitely
hey,
not
Luke.
Yoda.
Lando?
Tatooine Luke is like, I just
Tatooine
want to
Luke.
read poetry and just live out life. Like, you loser, go on the farm, go to the fields.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think I think Padme would be a good choice too. Like she seems very like into the arts,
Yeah. If she
Yeah.
wouldn't have had to be a queen, she wouldn't have had no
Right.
politics. She could have had a good. Yeah,
Really,
she-
any
loves her.
senator you could probably name, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
They could appreciate the language.
Yeah, one of the
I like
handmaidens was really into art, weren't they? And then they
Oh yeah.
Oh,
forgot about that.
yeah. I can't ever keep it straight. Like
one of the A's.
who does what? Yeah.
Irritated is stage management. Yane does the weaving.
Arte.
Arte does the art. Oh God, you're wonderful.
Thanks.
Oh,
right,
I've got it.
Oh.
I'm forgetting the name from Mutiny on Mon Cala, the actor guy. Oh,
You're the
what's
expert.
his
You're the
name?
Mina Moncala person.
I know.
You're what we have.
Oh,
You're what we have.
like
Yeah, I know who you're talking about though. He's a shape changer.
yeah. He's like a performer.
Is it Is it Tunga Arpagian?
Yes, because how would I remember
Arpagian,
that?
he's a Claudite.
Yes.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Right.
Tip my Tunga, as it were.
Right. He would be. I think he would be into.
That's totally what he did.
that. Yes.
Good job, Tunga. All right, Emma, what you got?
Okay. So I kind of like lost steam in making personal ones, so I just kind of made one related to the world. You can't say. I forget his name. It's okay. It's okay. We'll
Maybe
we'll
we
get
won't.
there. Maybe you won't. Who would be most likely to survive a pandemic?
Ooh.
Not the doctor guy from the Blue Shadow virus, that guy.
Okay, yeah, but who's like
Oh yeah.
who's planning? Who kind of
Like
knows
somebody
all that
resourceful.
stuff?
This one I kind of tied it into like obviously pandemic, but also I had like Last of Us on the brain.
Yeah, who's like Bill?
Right, yeah.
Oh man,
The
like
Bills.
who's got a
and
bunker?
The Joels of the.
I would
Yeah.
say Cad Bane would be most likely.
That's not
That's
a bad
solid.
answer, yeah.
He got him there was a couple instances I think definitely in the Book of Boba Fett. I remember him fixing himself up, but I think a couple episodes in the Clone Wars where like he got hurt and he fixed himself. And now that I'm thinking
Right.
about it, I might be thinking of the Predator because he also does that in the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
One of them.
movie.
One of them.
That's so
Shelf
fun.
here. Jeez, that's a good one. Who's just the survive? Oh,
Yoda.
Thrawn.
Oh, Thrawn's a good
Thrawn.
answer.
Thrawn is a good one.
Yes.
I think Thrawn would really have it
That's
all
a good
together.
one.
Yeah, he's always 3 steps, 4 steps ahead. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thrawn.
Okay.
What about Din Djarin?
So
I mean,
far,
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
I like that.
Pedro, you've got
he's
Pedro.
adaptable.
Going for you.
Yep. Already.
So-
Yeah,
on
he
the
actually
show.
is
Yeah.
the Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I
don't
think-
doing that.
Mandalorians need to know not just how to fight or whatever, right? They need to know how to navigate the galaxy.
Right. And they always keep their mask on.
Yeah.
This is the way.
This is
All
the
right.
way.
He never
I'm gonna
seems
give
to
the
have
cre-
enough whistling birds. Like,
That's
they're
true.
so finite.
It's like
They're
the toilet
so
paper
good.
of
Should
the
have
galaxy.
something else.
You know what I mean? It's
Something
like,
else
Yeah.
on that hand.
That's what's in shortage. In the...
Amazing.
Okay, here's the correct answer. You ready?
Yes.
Any droid. Get it?
Yes. Yes.
True.
Boom!
True.
How dare us?
They're just throwing in all the droids.
I literally just thought of that.
How
like,
dare
as
us.
you guys
Pretty
were
good.
talking, I was like, wait a second. They can't get infected.
Just Dio, just doing circles around the galaxy.
He's like, uh-oh.
Ow. All right. All right, Wes, bring us home.
Okay. This should be a good one to bring us home. All right. Who is most likely, other than Qui-Gon Jinn, to be Anakin Skywalker's father?
Like his real life. Sorry. What?
I
Like
slept
it's
on the
real.
floor. Sure you did, Qui-Gon.
To
get
be his father.
Father.
I mean, like statistically speaking, Rail Averos.
Because probably.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Going based on like personality and also promiscuity, I would say Elzar Mann. The timelines
Solid.
don't match up, but
Hey,
Hey.
World Between Worlds just popped
Right.
in for a second.
yep.
Yep. I mean, I'll do the chalk answer, right? Mahomes is the MVP bet. Palpatine.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
remember
She
that
helps.
comic adaptation. It's just like
At first, I
really
thought you were
weird.
talking about Dark Empire with naked Palpatine.
that could be too. Like,
Naked Palpatine.
Shmi could be like, "Oh yeah, that guy likes to party."
You're brand new and a little too wet.
Brand new.
Shmi and Sheev.
Oh
Ugh.
no.
Shmeev is their
Shmeev.
celebrity couple name.
Ugh.
I mean,
Shmeev.
it wouldn't be like, an episode of something without me bringing up.
Yeah,
We got there
Yeah.
at the final whistle, final buzzer. We called the timeout. We got the inbound pass. Naked Palpatine for the win.
Gotta love it.
I'll go with that.
Awesome. I think that's how we do it. Emma, thank you for coming on for another supremely weird episode. It does follow you.
It
Happy
does,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is super fun. I'm glad I can bring the chaos. I would like to think it's not about me, but maybe it is.
Well, we'll see. So far, and of course, next week we'll have another fun time around here. Of course, chatting all things Star Wars. Make sure y'all are keeping up with everything. Again, stuff's always coming out. Make sure you're keeping up with the book bracket. 2 matches a day, every day throughout March. So we're continuing that. We got 64 matchups. Make sure you're voting. Discord, Instagram stories, YouTube, and Twitter. We do encourage voter fraud here, so make sure you're on all those. And of course, have a great, lovely week watching The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian. We've heard that apparently you should watch Bad Batch first. I'm probably not gonna, but maybe that'll help the show. But we'll be back next week talking more Star Wars because, my friends, that will do it for this week's episode of The Living Force. If you support us on Patreon, thank you so much for all of that. We appreciate all the support, and a special thank you to Brian Dooley, Earl Q, and Carl Sander on our Jedi High Council, and James T, Elizabeth Cloutier, Ashley Ingos, and Chris Carrizo on our Alliance High Command. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Eric Allerson, Charles Zetzi Henko, Wes is at Boss West, Emma is at Urban Jedi 26, the show's at Living Force Pod. We never say that. A special thank you to Matt Davenport, our amazing editor, Ryan, our graphic designer extraordinaire, and Wes, our producer and community manager. Thank you to Charles, Wes, and Emma for potting with me tonight. Thanks to all of you for hanging out. And as always, may the Force be with you.